Hello everyone, welcome to my video tutorial for the context skin in Voyant. My name is Fabrizio Lacarra-Ramirez, and I'm a Digital Humanities Assistant for the DH Center here at San Diego State University. This guide is part of a series of mini-tutorials covering various tools available in Voyant for text analysis. If this is your first time hearing of or using Voyant, I invite you to explore our slideshow guides on Voyant basics and Voyant stopwords and search queries created by Kiona Kinshasa. Our DH workshop tutorial for Voyant for text analysis, created by Pam Lack, is a great supplementary resource to view afterwards. This mini-tutorial will cover the context skin within Voyant, how to read a context table, what Voyant calls a grid, how to edit displayed information, and how a term's meaning changes depending on its context in a document or corpus. Alright, let's get started. For this demonstration, I'll be using a corpus featuring the works of Jane Austen. The context skin allows for the usage of many collections of text and is most likely compatible with your own choice of corpus. The context skin displays each occurrence of a selected term within a corpus. Each occurrence is represented as a row in the table. Each entry displays a bit of the text that appears before and after the term in its respective document. Here's what it looks like. In this entry, the selected term Mr. is what the context graph searched for, but the context of each entry comes from the text appearing before and after each occurrence of a term. This tool is useful in showing how the term functions within a specific chunk of text, allowing the user to compare that chunk of text with other contextual instances in the same text or the corpus at large. I'd like to take a moment to review the skin level tools available in Voyant. These tools are present for all skins. When opening a corpus in Voyant, the context skin can be found at the bottom right corner of the screen. You can change the selected skin of any panel on screen by clicking the other options at the top of the panel. On the top right corner of the panel, there's an option to export a URL or embeddable tool for sharing your context table with others. You can also export a static screenshot and get a suggested bibliographic reference for the particular view. You can also switch to other skins by clicking the Windows icon on the top right of any panel. There is an options menu that allows you to edit stopwords for the skin you're using, along with an option to apply changes globally across different skins. The question mark gives a brief description of the tool in use when hovering over or clicking on the icon. Clicking the More Help link will open a page called Voyant Tools Help, which includes an in-depth information about specific tools and functions. As with other tools, the context skin is compatible with the stemming function. Stemming is a function that allows the user to search for words and their variations. By putting an asterisk at the end of a word, context will provide entries of the selected search term along with all of its variations. By stemming, context will provide entries of the selected search term along with all of its variations. All other configurations, such as stopwords, wildcards, and more, are available in the context skin. If you'd like to learn more about configurations, please check out our other Voyant tutorials. Let's dive into the anatomy of the table and explore the various functions of the context skin. The top bar of our table consists of these functions: columns, term, document, position, left column, and right column. The Columns menu allows the user to edit the columns that appear on the table. Editing columns allows for customization of the table to fit your individual research needs. The Columns menu can be accessed by clicking the drop-down tab on the right of any option in the table. Hovering your mouse over the Columns option opens a drop-down menu that lets you select what columns appear in your table. To remove columns from the table, uncheck the box of whatever column you want removed. To add columns to the table, check the box of whatever column you want added. Note: the drop-down column menus are all the same, regardless of where you access them, so you can change available columns from any part of the table. When editing available columns, removing certain columns from the table might reduce functionality available in the context skin. For example, removing the term column from the table limits the amount of information given to the user and can be detrimental to one's research. Be careful to not remove any crucial columns from the table, as it will make data harder to read accurately. But if you do remove a column, you can always restore it by clicking the Columns drop-down menu and checking its box. The term column shows all entries for the currently selected term, or terms. Clicking on the term button arranges all entries in order of their occurrence in the corpus, in ascending or descending order. Then, all entries are arranged based on their position within the text itself, that is to say, the order in which they appear in the document and/or corpus. Any of the 5 available columns, term, document, position, left, and right, can be sorted in ascending or descending order. The sorting function behaves differently depending on which column you select, and we will discuss how each one changes the order of entries in our table. Note: the sorting function can only arrange entries through the ascending or descending order of a single column. There is currently no option for sorting on multiple columns or secondary sorting. For example, it is impossible to sort for both document ascending and position descending at the same time. The document column shows which document each specific entry appears in. This will still display even when working on a corpus that consists of a single document. In that case, you likely won't need this column to be active, since it will always have the same value, the single document. Clicking the Document button arranges all documents in the table according to their position in the corpus, in ascending or descending order. Then, all entries are arranged based on their position within the text itself. The Position column shows the location of each specific entry in its respective document. For example, if an entry has a position number of 10, that means the selected term appears as the 10th word in that specific text. Clicking the Position button arranges all entries in the table according to their positional appearance in each text, in ascending or descending order. Note: when opening the context skin, the Position column is not selected. The user must access the Columns menu and check the box labeled Position for the column to appear in the table. The left column shows the bit of text that appears before the selected term in each entry. Clicking the left button arranges all entries in the table according to the word that comes before the selected term, alphabetically. For example, ascending will arrange all entries alphabetically, while descending will put all the punctuation at the top, followed by reverse alphabetical order. The right column shows the bit of text that appears after the selected term in each entry. Clicking the right button arranges all entries in the table according to the word that comes after the selected term, alphabetically. Similarly to the left function, ascending arranges entries alphabetically, while descending puts punctuation at the top, followed by reverse alphabetical order. Note: entry sorting changes visually depending on how many terms are used in the context table. The document column sorts entries similarly to the term column when using one term, but behaves differently when sorting more than one term. Let's visualize this through comparison, sorting with one term versus multiple terms. Sorting entries by document and term gives similar results with one term. This is true for both ascending and descending configurations. Sorting entries by document gives a different result with multiple terms. Sorting by term remains the same since the term misses is positioned further down the table. The left bar of our table is made out of 2 functions, the plus sign and the minus sign. Clicking the plus sign on any entry expands it to show more context, revealing a greater chunk of the text that appears before and after the selected term. The expanded view shows the chunk of text in which the selected term appears in this entry. The amount of text revealed can be customized. We will cover this later during the tutorial. Clicking the minus sign on any expanded entry minimizes it to show the basic context. The minus sign returns the entry to its original state. This function does the opposite of the plus sign. The bottom bar of our table houses these available functions: the term search box, context slider, expand slider, and the scale drop-down box, which includes the corpus and the documents options. The term search box at the bottom left allows you to select any term in the corpus for use in the context table. You can select more than one term at a time, adding all relevant entries to the table. When adding multiple terms into the search bar, the entries will be arranged in the table based on the order they were added using the term search box. Since I added Mr. into the term search box first, and then added Mrs. in second, the context table displays entries for Mr. first, with entries for Mrs. coming afterward. The number on the right of the term search box relates to the amount of total entries in the table. This number varies greatly based on how many terms you selected and/or if stemming was used to include variations of terms. The context slider changes the amount of words on the left and right of each entry in the table. The amount is set to 5 words by default, but this number can be increased up to 50 words by using the slider. This is what entries look like with a context of 5 compared to a context of 10. The expand slider changes the amount of words on the left and right of each expanded entry. While it may seem similar, this function is not the same as context slider. The expand slider only changes the amount of words in expanded entries, and does not change the amount of words that appear on entries in the table. The amount is set to 55 words by default, but this number can be decreased to 5 words or increased to 500 words by using the slider. The scale drop-down box has two options: corpus or documents. Clicking the corpus option adds all documents into the table, appearing as they do in their respective order within the corpus. Clicking the documents option allows you to remove or add documents to the table. Hovering over the Documents option opens another drop-down box displaying all available documents in the corpus. To remove a document from the table, uncheck the box of whatever document you want removed. Hit OK to confirm. To add a document to the table, check the box of whatever document you want to add. Hit OK to confirm. If you'd like to learn more about available skins, I invite you to explore our other mini tutorials in the series on Voyant for text analysis. Thank you for watching, and have a lovely day.